The air hung heavy with the scent of moss and moisture, a thick, almost tangible presence that seemed to wrap around everything it touched. Each breath was a reminder of the ancient life that thrived here, unseen but ever present. A symphony of unseen life filled the forest, a chorus of whispers and rustles that spoke of secrets long kept. The sounds blended together, creating a melody that was both haunting and beautiful, a testament to the vibrant ecosystem hidden beneath the glowing canopy.
Stepping cautiously into the unknown, I felt a mixture of trepidation and exhilaration. Each step was a journey into a world that defied the ordinary, a place where the rules of nature seemed to bend and twist in the most unexpected ways. I had journeyed to this precise point in history, drawn by whispers of a place touched by the impossible. Stories of a forest that glowed with its own light, a sanctuary of bioluminescence that seemed to exist outside the bounds of reality, had led me here.
Before her lay a sight that defied explanation. The forest was alive with a light that seemed to come from within, a soft, pulsing glow that bathed everything in an otherworldly radiance. Trees, ancient and gnarled, pulsed with an inner light. Their bark, rough and weathered by countless years, seemed to shimmer with a life of its own, each groove and crevice glowing softly in the dim light. Their branches, reaching like skeletal fingers, glowed with an ethereal luminescence. It was as if the very essence of the forest was captured in their twisted forms, a silent testament to the magic that permeated this place.
This was no ordinary forest. It was a realm of enchantment, a place where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural blurred and intertwined. This was a place of magic. Every step I took seemed to bring me deeper into a world that was both familiar and alien, a landscape that defied the laws of physics and biology.
Dr. Vance adjusted the straps of her backpack, her heart pounding. The weight of her equipment was a comforting reminder of the scientific purpose of her journey, even as the wonder of the forest threatened to overwhelm her senses. The air shimmered around her, alive with unseen energy. It was as if the very atmosphere was charged with a kind of electricity, a subtle hum that vibrated through her body and mind. The forest beckoned her deeper. Each glowing tree, each shimmering leaf seemed to call out to her, urging her to explore further, to uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the depths of this magical place. She took a step forward, her boot sinking into the soft earth. The ground beneath her feet was spongy and alive, a living carpet that seemed to pulse with the same inner light as the trees. As she did, a ripple of light spread out from her footfall. It was a mesmerizing sight, the light flowing outward in waves, illuminating the forest floor in a cascade of colors. It raced across the forest floor, illuminating the space around her. The light seemed to have a life of its own, moving with a purpose and intelligence that was both fascinating and unsettling. It was as if the forest itself were responding to her presence. Each step she took, each movement she made seemed to elicit a reaction from the forest, a silent acknowledgement of her intrusion into this sacred space. She reached out to touch a nearby plant, and it responded with a burst of light, as if greeting her. The plant's glow intensified, spreading to the surrounding foliage, creating a ripple effect that was both beautiful and surreal. Dr. Vance's face was illuminated by the bioluminescent light, her eyes wide with awe. She had read about such phenomena, but experiencing it firsthand was something entirely different. It was a moment of pure wonder, a reminder of the incredible mysteries that still existed in the world. She looked up at the canopy where the bioluminescent leaves mingled with the stars visible through the gaps. It was a breathtaking sight, a merging of the terrestrial and the celestial, a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Taking a deep breath, she absorbed the magic of the forest. The air was thick with the scent of moss and earth, a heady mix that grounded her even as the light lifted her spirits. This was a place of wonder, a sanctuary of light and life that defied explanation. The path ahead beckoned, leading deeper into the unknown. With each step, she felt a growing sense of connection to this place, a feeling that she was part of something much larger than herself. The glowing woods had welcomed her, and she was ready to uncover its secrets. Each step Dr. Vance took sent out a new wave of light. The forest pulsed and breathed with her. It was a mesmerizing spectacle that both captivated and unnerved her.
The light is not cold or harsh. It's warm and inviting, like the embrace of a long-forgotten memory.
She ran a hand along the rough bark of a nearby tree. The light pulsed beneath her fingers, sending a tingling sensation up her arm. As she gazed deeper into the light, she noticed something peculiar. Symbols, intricate and ancient, swirled within the glow. They were unlike any language she had ever encountered, yet somehow familiar. They seemed to whisper of forgotten knowledge, of secrets lost to time.
The forest holds more than just beauty. It holds knowledge, ancient and powerful.
Dr. Vance pulled out her notebook and began to sketch the symbols. Their complexity was baffling. Each line and curve seemed to hold a secret, a story waiting to be told. The symbols were unlike anything she had ever seen before, a language that defied conventional understanding. They seemed to twist and turn in on themselves, forming an endless loop of meaning. It was as if the symbols were alive, constantly shifting and changing, never settling into a single form. Dr. Vance felt a sense of awe and frustration. She was on the brink of a discovery, yet the meaning eluded her. It was like trying to capture a dream on paper. The more she tried to pin down the symbols, the more they seemed to slip away, like sand through her fingers. She wondered if she was missing a crucial piece of the puzzle, something that would make everything click into place.
I knew, with growing certainty, that these symbols were the key to understanding this place. They held the answers to the mysteries of the forest, the secrets of its bioluminescent glow, and perhaps even the origins of the ancient civilization that once thrived here.
As she sketched, she noticed something else out of place, a subtle shift in the light, a glimmer that didn't belong. Her eyes were drawn to a spot beneath a tangle of luminous roots. A glint of metal beneath a tangle of luminous roots caught her eye. It was an anomaly in this natural setting, something that stood out against the organic backdrop of the forest. Brushing aside the undergrowth, she discovered a small metallic object. It was partially buried, as if it had been there for a long time, yet it looked untouched by the passage of time. It was sleek and aerodynamic, with an otherworldly design. The surface was smooth, almost frictionless, and it seemed to hum with a faint energy. Dr. Vance felt a thrill of excitement. This was a find unlike any other. It was clearly not of this time, yet here it was, nestled amongst the roots of a tree that had stood for centuries. The juxtaposition of the ancient and the futuristic was striking, a testament to the mysteries that lay hidden in this forest.
This is no ordinary artifact. It felt like a piece of a larger puzzle, a clue that could unlock the secrets of the past and the future.
She carefully picked it up, her hands trembling with anticipation. The weight of the object was surprising, heavier than it looked, as if it was dense with hidden knowledge. Turning it over in her hands, she examined every detail. The craftsmanship was exquisite, with intricate patterns etched into the surface. It was a work of art, and yet it felt functional, as if it had a purpose beyond mere aesthetics. It was cold to the touch, and strangely inert. There was no sign of the energy she had sensed earlier, no indication of its true nature. But she knew that this was just the beginning of her journey. But she had seen enough to know that this was no ordinary artifact. It was a key, a gateway to understanding the ancient scripts and the futuristic tools that lay hidden in this enigmatic forest. Dr. Vance felt a surge of determination. She would uncover the secrets of this place, no matter what it took.
The discovery sent a chill down my spine. It was as if the very air around me had suddenly turned icy, despite the warm glow of the bioluminescent plants. I could feel the weight of history pressing down on me, the whispers of the past echoing in my ears. I was a time traveler, yes. I had journeyed through the ages, witnessing the rise and fall of civilizations, the ebb and flow of time itself. But nothing had prepared me for this moment, standing in a forest that seemed to exist outside of time, a place where the past and future collided in a dazzling display of light and shadow. But my technology was primitive compared to this. My device, a clunky amalgamation of gears and circuits, seemed almost laughable in the face of the object I had discovered. It was sleek, elegant, and pulsing with an energy that felt both ancient and futuristic. This object spoke of a level of technological advancement far beyond anything my own time had achieved. It was as if it had been plucked from the distant future and placed here in this ancient forest as a testament to the ingenuity of a civilization that had yet to come into existence. How could it be here in this ancient forest, centuries before it was meant to exist? The very presence of this object defied the laws of time and space, creating a paradox that threatened to unravel the fabric of reality itself. I had stumbled upon a paradox, a glitch in the fabric of time. It was a riddle wrapped in an enigma, a mystery that demanded to be solved, and I knew that I was the only one who could unravel its secrets, and I had a feeling that this was only the beginning. The forest seemed to hum with anticipation, as if it were alive and aware of the journey that lay ahead. I could feel the weight of destiny pressing down on me, urging me forward into the unknown.
The forest seemed to press in around her, the air thick with anticipation. Each step she took was met with a chorus of whispers, the voices of the past and future blending together in a haunting melody. The bioluminescent plants glowed brighter, casting eerie shadows that danced across the forest floor. The glowing symbols on the trees pulsed with a newfound intensity. They seemed to be alive, shifting and changing with each passing moment. It was as if they were trying to communicate with her, to convey a message that was just beyond her understanding. They seemed to be watching her, waiting for her next move. The forest was a living entity, aware of her presence and the significance of her journey. She could feel its eyes upon her, urging her to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within its depths. She knew she couldn't ignore this. The pull of the forest was too strong, the mystery too compelling. She had to understand how this object came to be here and what it meant for the future of time itself. She had to understand how this object came to be here. It was a puzzle that demanded to be solved, a riddle that held the key to the very fabric of reality. She knew that her journey would be fraught with danger, but she was determined to see it through to the end. What she didn't know was that her arrival had been foretold. The forest had been waiting for her, its secrets hidden in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. She was the key to unlocking its mysteries, the one who would bring balance to the paradox that threatened to tear the fabric of time apart. And that her presence here was about to awaken something ancient and powerful. The forest held a power that had been dormant for centuries, waiting for the right moment to be unleashed. And now, with her arrival, that moment had finally come. The journey ahead would be perilous, but she was ready to face whatever challenges lay in her path. Deep within the heart of the forest, something stirred. A being of pure energy, as old as time itself, sensed the disruption in the temporal flow. It had been drawn to this place by the arrival of the archaeologist, a being of science and logic, drawn to the impossible. The entity existed outside the normal constraints of space and time. It was a being of pure potential, constantly shifting, constantly evolving. Its form was fluid, a kaleidoscope of colors and shapes.
One moment I resembled a swirling vortex of stardust, the next a perfectly formed geometric pattern. I moved with a grace that defied description, flowing through the forest like a whisper of wind. I was drawn to Dr. Vance's curiosity, her insatiable thirst for knowledge. I recognized in her a kindred spirit, a fellow traveler on the endless road of discovery.
Dr. Vance, oblivious to the entity's presence, continued her exploration. The deeper she ventured into the forest, the stranger it became. The trees pulsed with a rainbow of colors, their branches twisting into impossible knots. The air shimmered with unseen energy, and strange melodic sounds echoed through the undergrowth. It was a place of both order and chaos, where the laws of nature seemed to bend and break at will.
I felt a strange pull, an invisible force guiding me towards the heart of the forest. I couldn't explain it, but I knew I had to follow it. The rational part of my mind screamed at me to turn back, that I was venturing too far into the unknown. But some deep-seated instinct urged me onward. I was about to come face to face with something that would change my understanding of the universe forever.